Hello, good morning, and welcome to today's podcast. This is Machana. It's been quite a while since we last made the last episode. I do apologize for that. Just been quite a lot going on, as you would imagine. Now, today, I hope, first of all, that everybody is in good spirits and everybody is in good health, considering the coronavirus that's taken over the whole world, so to speak. It's been quite an interesting situation that the world finds itself in, and so I found it fit that I should talk about it today, at least give a bit of my thoughts on the whole pandemic. There's been a lot of videos and photos posted on social media about how you can keep yourself safe from this virus, on how you can try to avoid contracting it in your day-to-day life. Now, I'm just happy that we do not have it on a large scale here in Zambia, because all the preventive measures that are being given would pretty much be very difficult to follow if you are in such a place as ours. Because to start with, the mode of transport that we use to and from work are minibuses, and in those buses you are pretty much sitting shoulder to shoulder with other people. Now, from what I've heard so far, it's staying on clothes. Somebody may have sneezed whilst they were before they got into the bus, or somebody may have sneezed on them, so you go and sit next to them. That I believe would transfer onto you as well, who's in contact with their clothes. Now, I've seen a lot of misguided people. I want to use that word. Like they're getting on the bus and with a face mask and thinking they are safe, but their hands are free. They are touching everywhere. And even I'm guessing even the money that we are using to pay for the bus rides, because money exchanges hands a lot. And so you've got a face mask, quite alright, but then your hands are everywhere. You're touching people, so to speak. You're touching the seats, you're touching the whole bus basically. So that then kind of defeats the purpose of having that face mask, I feel. And so that's why I haven't even paid much attention to having that. All I'm hoping for is that I don't really come into contact with anybody who has it, because it's going to be very difficult. And the other preventive measures that they have put across is like the regular washing of hands, which should be pretty much standard, because there's a lot of things that we touch, especially if you go into these malls. You're touching all the rails, and you're climbing stairs, you're touching the rails, and it's a lot of people do touch those things. So even if there was no virus going around, I think that's just something that should be continually emphasized, that people should always wash their hands when they get to where they're going, because it's just basic hygiene. And people have been washing their hands. I know at my place of work, we got a bucket of water and also disinfectant, so that people can wash their hands before they go into the building. Now, for some people, of course, they are glad that it's there, and they do understand the reason why it's important for them to wash their hands before they enter the building. But for some, you'd almost feel as if they think you are burdening them, like you'd see the look on their face like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Like they're just doing it because you've asked them. And so it's really a poor culture, where the only time you decide to wash your hands is maybe if you've been to the toilet, or if you're about to eat a meal. That's when you only think about washing your hands. And so yeah, the other thing really is the issue of gathering, like being in crowded areas. That one is hard as well, because because this place is just crowded. You can't really walk maybe just a few meters without bumping into someone. Like, it's just crowded. And those are just random people. You don't know where they've been. You don't know what they are carrying on them. So I mean, you're just rubbing shoulders with them. So I'm just glad that there's only been those 2 cases so far that have been officially confirmed as being testing positive. Because if it really came onto us, on a large scale, I think it would be very, very difficult for us to keep away from it. Not that it's we are careless or anything, but it's just the environment. It's just the environment. I mean, it would be very hard, because you're thinking to yourself, okay, so if I'm supposed to stay away from people, then I'm not going to go for work then, because how am I going to get to work? The moment I decide to go for work, then I'm already putting myself at risk. And even worse, you're at work, there are a lot of people that are coming in as well. So it's it's just a crazy situation. And there've been some stories as well about Italy. How the people there were warned by the government, but they actually thought it's just one of those things, like the government is trying to scare you into maybe being obedient, or not being yourselves or whatever. And so they just took it lightly, and they just continued on with their lives. And all of a sudden people start dying, and that's when now it's clicked in that, all right, this thing is real. And by that time it's already too late, because a lot of people have ended up losing their lives because someone somewhere just took it as as just one of those things, like where because I would say this, I often don't feel like flu is being sick. Like, if you have the flu, I don't really consider it as being sick, because like you have it and then you're just like, it's gonna go away. Let me just give it maybe a few days and it's gonna go away. It doesn't really affect your daily life, because I guess we've just gotten used to it. Like when it's dusty and windy, then you expect to get some flu, and so it's we tend to equate this whole virus thing to it as well. And so it's really a poor mentality, I know, but at the end of the day, you just have to feel sorry for the families who've lost their loved ones, and also those that are still battling this whole situation. And I really hope it gets sorted out soon, because it's really not just affecting the health, but just the economies as well, because countries have gone into lockdowns, and people are not traveling anymore. So on the business front, some airlines are not operating anymore because of the areas that they have to go into. They don't want to endanger their staff or the passengers as well. So it's just a weird situation. At first, it was like, oh, it's China, and the Western countries were just like, all right, it's China, and nobody was really doing anything significant about helping them to fight it off. and they've only started, like when now it has, I think, almost like when it was just in China, everybody was just like, right, okay, let them deal with it. But the moment it got off the Chinese shows, that's when now everybody swung into action. And with the US president, like publicly, attributing the whole thing to China. It's one thing, saying it has come from China, but he's calling it the Chinese disease. You think, a leader that the whole world is literally listening to is stereotyping, a certain group of people and blaming them, so to speak, for a situation that is killing millions or thousands, at least for now. And so when you see a person from that area, obviously subconsciously you're going to have that negative approach towards them. And it's something that I've seen even locally, where nowadays people, when they see an Asian person, they're literally running away and they're keeping a distance. But it's like, the funny thing also is, like in most African countries, it's not actually the Asians who have been diagnosed or who have been sort of like accused of bringing it. It's been Europeans really who have been singled out as the ones that have brought the virus to most of the African countries. But with that in mind, like people blaming China for it, then you have, people all obviously with their misguided ways of thinking. So it's all in all a sad situation, and I really do hope that it would be sorted out very, very soon. Because the other thing is, we miss our sports. There hasn't been football for the past few weeks, and the weekends are, even though we have the constant load shedding of electricity, but still we need the football. And so the sooner it comes back, the better. So those are really my thoughts on the situation. A huge big up to the people that have been helping and fighting the whole virus situation, COVID-19 as it's being called, or is it COVID-19? The people who've been like trying to help the patients, they've done a tremendous job. I was reading somewhere where I don't know if that was 2,600, I don't know how true it is, but 2,600 of the caregivers have also contracted the same virus in Italy. Now you can imagine, that is your job. You're putting your life at risk, literally putting your life at risk in order to save lives. I mean, that's something that should be commended. It's a step beyond humanity, I feel, when you have to sacrifice your life in order to save someone else's. So I tip my hat off to everybody who's involved in that, and also their families as well, because I'm guessing the thoughts that they have to go through, like your loved one is leaving to go and put their life at risk, in order to save a stranger's life, that leaves you with a lot of thoughts, like at the end of the day, you don't know whether they are gonna come back or not, because if they have contracted the virus, then they are not coming back home until I don't know when, and since they are quarantined, I'm sure you cannot even visit them. So it's a tough situation for their families as well. And we just pray and hope that everything will be fine. I know China has said they've resolved all the domestic cases, which is very good, and hopefully the rest of the world will will follow suit as well and have it all resolved. Having said that, please do look after yourselves. Follow all the rules that have been put across on how you can keep yourself safe and prevent the virus from catching on to you. And just make sure that you put number one first, and keep clean at all times. Even after the virus is done, please keep being clean, because that will keep you away from other issues as well. So you have a great week, and as usual, we'll see you on the other side. I don't know when I'm gonna record another episode. And my website is back up, so that's www.machona.com. I repeat, that's www.machona.com. So I'm still working on it. It's almost done. It's almost done. So just if you have some time, hop on there and take a look, and you can let me know what you think or what you would want me to put up. The other place that you can find me, obviously, is my Facebook page, which is Machona, and you can send me a message or leave a comment anywhere, and just tell me what you'd want us to talk about, or tell me what you think about what I've been talking about, and then we can pick from there. So it's been Machona, and I'll catch you on the other side. Take care, keep safe. Laters.